Hey there, it's Jack Parrotta here. Now, I thought I'd do an actual video going a little bit more in depth into Egrow and talk to you a little bit about what the plus sides are, you know, what the pros and cons are of this whole software when it comes to doing research, you know, on Amazon here in Australia. Now, just before I get into this video, just so you know, this isn't an incentivized review or anything like that. Egrow didn't come to me and ask for me to do a review on the program. This is solely based on the fact that it's one of the only programs that works for Amazon Australia. And when I say works, I'm going to get into, you know, the pros and cons about that. But I've been using it for about a year and a half. It was first shown to me a year and a half ago from a student, because we were actually using different methods back then because we didn't really have too much software to go by with Amazon here in Australia when we're doing product research. So this is going to be sort of an in-depth look into a kind of like going along the lines of a before you buy kind of thing. It's going to talk a little bit about the features and talk to you guys a bit about how I personally think about it, because, you know, just so you know, this is the program that we actually use in Ecom Excellence in the Amazon FBA course, the one that I've made, the one that I run. Myself and my students use this, and there's reasons as to why, which we'll get into in a second. So without further ado, we're going to get straight into this video. You might see me looking over here a bit. It's actually because I've got Egrow up on my computer here, just so I make sure that I can cover all the bases that I want to cover. So first of all, we're going to be looking at the price. I guess the first thing you guys want to know is the price. And I only ever do Egrow on a month-by-month basis, so that just means I pay for the months that I do for product research. And as you know, at the time of filming this video, the best option is the standard option, which is $29 for 1 month. Now that's 29 USD, just so you know. It does come out cheaper per month if you do it yearly. That means you just have to pay for the whole year up front. I don't bother doing it for the whole year. I just save that money, do 1 month, and then you can just cancel it. Now, just so you know, it's an automatic build thing, so make sure that you cancel it and go to the free plan at the end of your month so you don't get billed again if you're not going to use it. If not, you know, you can keep it up and running. A lot of the time, you know, if I'm not doing product research, I just keep it up because I can check, you know, things like students' products, and then, you know, when I do extra stuff for the private Facebook group and whatnot, I need Egrow there as well. So first thing, and this is the big thing, I want to tell you guys straight up, this is the biggest con for this software, and it's something that myself and my students had to learn the hard way over time because we didn't know when first using it. The biggest thing, and this is going to come down to the marketplace that it works for. Okay, before I get into that, it's great for the amount of marketplaces it works for. It works for, I'm looking at the screen here. We've got, you know, it works for the US market. Of course, it works for the Aussie market. That's why we use it, because it works for the Aussie market. But I'm seeing ones here. It works for Germany. It works for the UK, India, Italy, Canada, France. We've got Spain. I think we've even got China, and then even Brazil there as well. And there's so many different marketplaces you can use it for. So if you're looking to sell in not just, you know, Amazon Australia, but also in the US, even the UK, maybe even the Canadian market, wherever, you know, over in Europe, wherever you're looking to, it's the wide range of marketplaces that it can use for is the plus side. Now, the downside to all of this, and the bad thing that we had to find out, this is like just after we started using it a year and a half ago, is that unfortunately when it comes to the Aussie market, because from what I found, they pretty much use the same algorithm to pull all the sales data and give you guys the stats of what's selling. Because it uses the same algorithm, it actually skews the numbers for Amazon Australia. So we found, and this is going by my own sales on Amazon Australia and student sales on Amazon Australia, we found that it actually inflates them ×5 for the numbers. So let's just say, you know, if you have a product that's selling 1,000 per month in revenue, you know, it will say that it's got 5,000 per month in revenue. So that's one thing we've had to be careful of, and that's one thing that I put in depth in my course when we talk about using Egrow. And you know, when you see something there, let's just say it's saying it's selling $5,000 per month in revenue, you have to divide that by 5 to get a more accurate, you know, to get more accurate sales data. Some people say that you have to divide it by more, but for me, I've done it against my own sales, divide it by 5, and it seems to be a lot more accurate in that sense. Now, it doesn't seem to be the case when you are using it in the US or when you use it for another marketplace, especially in the US, it seems to be more accurate for that. But for Australia, unfortunately, that's the only downside to that. Now, Another thing that you might ask yourselves is, okay, if that's the case, why don't you just use another software? That's the biggest thing. The thing is here, and I'm going to go through the different features that this software has as well. I'm going to tell you guys the ones that I use out of it personally, but the biggest reason why I'm using Egrow, and the only other piece of software that I use, well, two pieces of software that I use is, one is AlgoPix, and another is Merchant Words. The only reason why I'm using Egrow is because it's pretty much the only one out of those ones where you can actually find products, and that you can use the database research, which I'll pull up some screenshots as well to show you guys how that works. But let's just say if something else like AMZ Scout or Jungle Scout, they release an Aussie market sort of variant for their software, I'll be jumping ship straight to that, and I only want to do what's best for you guys, for the viewers, and for my students, of course. I'll be jumping ship because I know that those softwares will do it even better. I didn't use Egrow until I started selling on the Aussie market, until I started teaching about the Aussie market as well. So as soon as I found out about it, the only reason I'm using it is because it's the only software that you can really find products with, as far as I can tell, you can find products with on the Aussie market. So you can use AlgoPix, but that usually just shows the demand for a product that you've already found. Merchant Words is great to find keywords, but if you're actually looking for products, Egrow is pretty much the only one there. Even though the numbers are skewed, you have to do the, I call it the 5x1 rule. You have to divide the revenue or the sales by 5. This is pretty much the only software, so we're kind of stuck with this until something better comes out, until something like Jungle Scout releases for the Aussie market, because Jungle Scout was great. I used that for the US market. Got to wait until something like that happens or an even better software comes out. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to go through a couple of the features that I use, and pretty much, yeah, what I use on a day-to-day basis and what I get the best benefit out of. So I only really use, they've got a whole bunch here, which I'll show you guys on the screen now. They've got the product tracker, database research, live Amazon scanner, keyword niche tool, rank tracker, and then they've got some other tools as well. The other tools that I use, the main one that I use, and which you get for free when you subscribe, is the extension, the Egrow extension for Google Chrome. So you got to make sure you're on Google Chrome. I use that pretty much every time I'm on Amazon. If I want to check the numbers for a certain product, if I want to check the sales numbers, like the monthly revenue or the monthly amount of units sold, I use Egrow, the Egrow Chrome extension, and it just pulls up the numbers. Again, when I'm on the Aussie market, I use that 5-to-1 rule, and just make sure that I'm not getting skewed numbers. I make sure that I just calculate that, divide it by 5, and that's pretty much it. Now, on the standard subscription, I think you get about 20 uses of that per day. I think it's about 20 per day, and that's more than enough for me. It's not like I'm going in-depth research. Now, you might need the higher tier subscription if you are in the first stages of product research. You might be using it, for a lot more searches, but just stick to the standard. I wouldn't be spending too much, especially since it's 29 USD. Just try it out first and see how you go. Now, there is a free version, just so you know. I couldn't find it on the website right now, but I know that there's a free trial version. Just a heads up with that, they only show you half the products in your trial version than the free version, so it won't show you the full amount of products that will show up when you're looking for, when you're doing product research, just so you know. So I would just go straight for the standard. It's going to save you so much time and hassle in the long run. So one of the first things I use, well, pretty much the main thing I use is the Google Chrome extension. The second thing I use when I'm getting right into product research and what I teach on, how to sell on Amazon Australia is using the database research tool here, and I'll show you guys a screenshot of what it looks like. And you can just search through all the different categories. Now, you just make sure on the top right, if you want to look at the Aussie market, you make sure that you click on .com.au on the Aussie market, make sure it's got the Aussie flag on there. If you want to do the US, make sure it's in the US, but you just got to choose which marketplace you want, and you can go through all the different categories and you can put in, and again, I teach this in depth as well. I have videos on my YouTube on how to actually use this software. I'll probably do some updated ones in the future anyway, but if you want to check out how to actually use this, I'm not going to go too in depth on how to use it. This is just more so a general overview today. But all you're doing right here in the, in these different sort of where it's got minimum and maximum here, you're just doing, you know, the different variables of, okay, I want to find certain products in this price range with this amount of reviews, with this amount of sales, such and such. And with Amazon Australia, since it's fairly new, you know, it's only been released here in Australia, Amazon, you know, since the end of 2017, you can be quite lenient with your parameters that you use, but you can be a bit more specific with the US, or if you're selling in the UK market, you can use that to your advantage as well. So I sometimes use the product tracker as well, but more so it's just the database research when I'm trying to find new products, although I do have different ways of finding products these days, which again I teach on the channel and then also in the Ecom Excellence course. But the thing that I use basically like almost daily is the Chrome extension. So if there was something that I could just use, you know, that I could just pay for just for the Chrome extension, I'd do that. But that's the biggest thing that I use because it's right there on the page. You just click the Chrome extension, all the numbers pull down, and you know, get all the info you need. So I have sometimes, very rarely use the niche tool. I don't really ever use the Amazon scan or the rank tracker. But if you want to get the full use out of it, go ahead and try it out. But if you're just getting started on Amazon Australia here and you are looking for product ideas, this is where this tool comes in. And this is where you're going to get the most use out of. For that and the Chrome extension, they're the two things that I would recommend to use this software for. Again, just be wary of those inflated numbers when you're using it on the Aussie market. And like I said, if something better does come out, if Jungle Scout, you know, say tomorrow were to say, okay, we're releasing for the Aussie market, I would just bang, jump ship, because I know straight away their software is on point with that stuff, and I'll be jumping ship to them. But we're pretty much, you know, this is what we've got right now, and I'm always on the lookout for a new bit of software that is going to help you guys, that are going to help myself as well. It's going to give you more accurate numbers, but all we can do right now is just find workarounds. Because, you know, like I said, Amazon Australia is still fairly new. It's only been up since the end of 2017, and it's going to take some time. You know, Amazon in the US launched around 2006, so they've had so much time to grow and solidify and just basically mature. The whole marketplace has matured here, but in saying that, Amazon Australia has some good growth as well. So I guess, you know, my final verdict for this Egrow software is if you're looking to find, you know, if you want to find products, especially product ideas, if you have no idea where to start, try Egrow out. And especially I'd get it for the Chrome extension. Like I said before, just be wary of those inflated numbers. But overall, it's at least good to try. And I wish I had some kind of like discounted trial or something to show you. I will give you the referral link that I have down below as well if you do want to try it out, especially if you're looking to get started on Amazon Australia. It helped me a lot, especially when first getting to the Aussie market. And it pretty much, if you've ever used Jungle Scout, it works pretty much exactly the same, with similar sort of layout. But I definitely would try it out. It's just that you have to be careful of the cons, like what we spoke about before. So that's pretty much my honest review on Egrow. And like I said, the main reason I'm using it is because we're very limited here in Australia right now. And look, if you find something else that works better, that you can find products on that has more precise numbers, go ahead and leave a comment here. I'm always open to suggestions and new things. Like I said, the reason I found this software was from a student. I had no idea it existed, and it was fairly new back then. So I'm more than happy for you to send me a comment, you know, leave a comment or send me a message. I'll go to my socials down below, and then I can even do a video on that and then show it to more people, because all I'm trying to get out of this is to show you guys the best bit of software, you know, that I've found so far, and the best bit of softwares that work for Amazon Australia, so we can find, you know, the best products, and then we can work from that. So that's been my honest review on Egrow. If you have any comments, or if you have any questions about how to use this piece of software, or you know, if you're looking to do something on it, or if you're trying to find products, whatever it may be, if you need a hand, comment down below. I always answer every comment that's pretty much ever posted on any of my videos. I always go through daily and answer them. So if you have any questions for me personally though, social links are down below. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got some value out of it. Like I said, just try out Egrow if you haven't tried any software for the Aussie market yet. Apart from that, stay safe guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.